Hi everyone, welcome to Cupboard Creations. My name is Gareth, this is my little corner of the internet for playing with my food. Today I'm going to take you through something I absolutely love, which you see in a lot of kind of posh food places or delis, which is biscotti. This beautiful little Italian kind of biscuit cum cake, which absolutely beautiful, dipped in a nice good cup of coffee. They are so easy to make. So today I'm going to take you through those. Let's get cracking. First thing we're going to need, butter. So you want 50 grams of butter here. So get myself a weighing scale. You just want to melt that down. Helps if you turn the scale on first. Like that. 47. 50. Lovely. I'm just going to chop that down, make it slightly easier to melt. And then we're going to just chuck that in the microwave for a bit. Brilliant. So that's 30 seconds, all that's taken. Ooh, and the bowl is hot and the butter is nicely melted. We can just put that to the side for now. Been attacked by my own microwave. Next bit. So we're going to use a couple of little ingredients for this just to add some of that really nice kind of fruity, kind of nutty flavouring. So I'm going to use figs. So I've got 125 grams of dried figs here. I'm just going to cut off the little stalk bit and we're going to halve these and then slice them into kind of fairly thin little sections. You don't want to cut them down too much because when you get them in the biscotti, once it's all cooked up, you're going to slice that biscotti and you want to see those little bits of figs in there. It just makes it look so much more attractive. So here we go. We've just got these little stalk bits which are a bit harder. Just going to quickly whip that off. Slice it in half. And then just cut that into decent little segments like that. Right, so that's my figs all chopped up. Now some orange. I'm going to use basically half an orange. You just want the zest of that. It's going to add a really nice kind of citrusy flavour to it. And that orange complements the figs very well. Just going to give that a good zest up. There we go. Orange all zested, figs all cut. That's all we need to do on the chopping front for this. So we put those to the side and we can get cracking with the rest. So you're going to need yourself a weighing scale for this bit and a nice good sized bowl. Right, first things first, flour. So for this we're going to need 240 grams of plain flour. Make sure that is reading 0 and then we're just going to sieve that into the bowl. Okay, so that's my flour in there. Now some caster sugar. You're going to want 150 grams of this. We're going to do the same thing, just sift it in. Just breaks up all of those big lumps. Right, so caster sugar's in there, flour's in there, some baking powder. It's just half a teaspoon of this. Just going to pop that in. So now we've got that, time to add in our other bits. So we want 75 grams flaked almonds. You can use normal almonds as well, just give them a good old chop up. But I'm lazy, so I'm using the ones that are pre-done for me. Perfect. So now that's that out of the way, all we need to put in is our figs and our orange zest. So whack all of that in there. And then time to give it a good mix around. Okay, so my dried ingredients all done, half it all over the tabletop, doesn't matter. Now for our wet ingredients. So just going to grab myself a little glass. We want 2 whole eggs in here. Right, so we're just going to whip those up. And then we're going to add in that melted butter from earlier. Hopefully it's still melted and you haven't taken too long to get through this bit. If not, just whack it back in the microwave for a bit. mix that in there. And then we're going to put in some vanilla extract. It just gives a little, lovely little flavour. So if my hands are wet, so I can't open it. Perfect. Right, so just want a teaspoon of vanilla extract in here. So there we go. That's my wets all done. I've got my dries. Now it's time to mix the two together. So we're just going to pour it straight in, get our hands dirty. So here we go. Just little bits at the bottom are still to pick up, but it's starting to come together really nicely. There we go. So that's come into one nice ball there. Perfect. So the dough is there, all made. Now we've just got to roll it out. Just want to get your rest of your plain flour. Just put a bit over a nice clean work surface. While you haven't been looking, I've cleaned it down because it was a proper mess once I'd finished throwing everything everywhere. And then just grab your ball of dough, split it in half. Gonna go, it's roughly equal. Now what we're going to do is roll this out by hand into sort of a nice sort of loaf shape. Probably 20 centimetres long, about that. So I like quite a lot of flour down here because it is quite a sticky loose dough at the moment. And that will just help the outside. It means that when you're rolling it, you don't end up with it sticking to everything. So we've got two roughly equal size loaves. There we go. Now these are done, just going to transfer them onto a bit of baking parchment on a baking tray. Lovely. Space them out as much as you can. Give them a bit of room because they will spread slightly. You'll see when you get biscotti, they're kind of sort of slightly elongated, where it is quite a loose mix, so it does sink slightly. That's exactly what you want. So just give them enough space that they can do a bit of that. And then we can take them over and shove them in the oven. So mixing it was really simple. Cooking it isn't particularly hard. You just want your oven up to 180 degrees C. We're going to throw them in for half an hour, and that's going to create these lovely loaves. Then we're going to slice them and essentially then dehydrate them. So let's get these in the oven. I'll come back to you when they're ready to go. So they've had their half an hour now. They should be spot on. Perfect. So there we go. They flatten down nicely. So you're going to get that lovely, perfect, elongated bit of biscotti. So good. What we're going to do now is just leave them to cool right down, just as is. Push them there. Go back to watching the rugby. And we'll come back when they're cooled. Okay, so we've let them cool down now. All we've got to do, slice these up into that classic kind of biscotti shape, put them back in the oven on a much lower heat, and what that'll do is it'll just toast them off. It just means they'll keep for a lot longer then. So do those bits. So yeah, just at an angle, and you cut these about a centimetre thick if you can. Oh, there you go. If you go too close, they'll break apart. Okay, so these perfectly edible as they are actually, really delicious. Like I said, we just want to toast them off. It's going to mean you can get these to keep for probably a week and a half to 2 weeks. Make excellent gifts. I did these this Christmas in a hamper for everyone. Just couldn't really go out and buy much. And they went down a treat. Everyone so far has really loved them. Right, so they're all laid out. Your oven's up to temperature, 160. Just pop them in. We're going to do them for 8 minutes either side. So after 8 minutes, just pop out, turn them all over, put them back in again. And all that'll do just means they'll keep a bit longer, and with that crispness, absolutely perfect for dunking in a nice cup of coffee. So we're finally done. Let's grab these out, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So nice, almost like toasted colour to them. There you go. 2 dozen biscotti. So just grab them all on a wire rack, just to let them cool down. And then enjoy. So you can pack them up, as long as you keep them in an airtight container, they'll keep for up to 2 weeks. But if you can last that long. So pack them up, give them to friends, family, neighbours, or just keep them all for yourself. Absolutely fab. Just dunked in a nice cup of coffee. Excellent. So, I shouldn't talk my mouth full. So I hope you enjoy it, hope you give it a go, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.